like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So, this video here, I think is somewhat vindicating me in this method of doing reviews for the Orville, or doing reviews in general, right? Because when I went in to do this review, I did the review last night on my live stream. When I went in to do this review, I was 100% sure, like unshakably 100% sure that I knew what was really going on with this episode, and I was very upset by it. I was 100% sure, right? Completely. Now, after listening to people in chat, they brought me down to 98% sure. Yeah, I know. It's not a big movement, but if you know me, that's quite a lot. So I'm now open to the possibility my take may not be the be-all and end-all of understanding this episode of the Orville. I think it is. But I'm going to explain why. See, the good thing about doing the reviews this way is, like, when I went into this thing, again, 100% sure, right? And through the interview, I heard people in the chat, and I started opening my mind a little bit, right? So you see that process. But now I've gone through it, I slept on it, and I thought about it, and I really want to say out what I think the two different takes are, and explain my one more, because I understand mine better, right? I understand mine better. But, excitingly, this is a debate now, right? Rather than a lambasting it. I still think my interpretation is the correct one. But fortunately, I think we will probably find out sooner or later. Probably sooner rather than later, right? What's really going on with this episode. Before we get into it, like, share, subscribe, comment. All those things are fantastic. Sign up my Substack. Sign up to my paid Substack. Or just send me bars of gold, Why not? Why not, indeed? Hey, send me Bitcoin. It's not worth anything. You don't want that cluttering up your digital wallet anymore. Just send it over to me. I'll look after it for you. I will make your life better. I want to be clear. No one's ever fallen for that. Have you ever wondered, right? Who falls for those email scams that, hi, I am a Nigerian prince from... I just need $2,000 and I can give you $50 million. Who falls for this, right? I would love... That's something that somebody should do. A documentary of people who have fallen for internet scams, right? Yeah, I would watch that. I would watch that show. Okay, make it into a game show, right? You have a scam. You have 3 people, right? And then the panel has to try and work out which one was really fooled by it and who are the 2 actors. Okay, there you go. You're welcome. Send me my royalty check, but not in Bitcoin. Not in anything. Not in stocks, not in anything. Everything's on fire, right? Everything's on fire. I think just send me a bushel of grain, right? I think that's going to be our new negotiable currency. Fine. Like, share, subscribe, comment, sub. You're not sending me anything. I know that. Like, share, subscribe, comment, Substack. All those things are very, very, very good. What I don't think is very, very good is the Orville, right? I love the Orville. I freaking love the Orville, right? It was our one refuge in a sea of politically and ideologically charged garbage, right? Of low quality nonsense that offered us genuine Star Trek Next Generation style storytelling and characters, right? It really worked. I loved it. I think many people loved it too as well. And I think, I don't know. I think people's love of it is making them be very, very charitable to it. So this episode, A Tale of Two Topas? Topas is the name, I think. So I believe this is a paper-thin analogy to say the idea that children having gender reassignment treatment, which is permanent surgery or chemical castration, right? That's what the drugs are. Is a great thing. You must listen to the children, and if we say no, we are probably going to kill them by making them commit suicide, and we're evil bigots that has no right to whatsoever stand in the way of stunning and brave children want to transition. Now, the way propaganda works is this. Somebody works out a story that they want to tell. So I think Seth MacFarlane sat down and said, I want to tell a story of... Yeah, this is what he gets in all this media. Of A child in Florida, not allowed to transition. It's so bizarre to me, right? It's so bizarre to me that you're not of the age of consent to have sex because you don't have the cognitive reasoning to make that decision. But I think that's what the episode wanted to talk about, and I think they wanted to use Topa as the person to do it because it's already introduced gender reassignment to that character, right? And I really think that was the idea they were going on when writing this episode. There is an alternate way of looking at it because Topa was already had a false gender reassignment at birth, that this is pro detransitioning, right? I do not think so, right? I think Seth MacFarlane may be brave enough to do that, but I don't think he's in a universe where he would have that thought, right? I really, really do not. I don't know which way, but listen, the thing with Hollywood people virtue signaling, which is what they do a lot, is they have to talk about it. Now, I'm not sure. Actually, I'm not even sure Seth MacFarlane will do that, right? I think he might actually be smart enough to put this out there and stay silent, and people go, "Oh, you're so stunning and brave," right? That's what I think. Most of the time, they're not smart enough to do that. But again, look, there was a strong contingent in the chat when I went over this saying, no, this is a detransitioning analogy rather than a transitioning analogy. Maybe they're right. I told you. Yeah, I went from 100% to 98%. Maybe they're right. I don't know, right? I don't know. Let me know what you think, right? But honestly, I think that people want to like the Orville. People really genuinely want to like the Orville. Why? Because it was there for us. It's called loyalty. It's a good thing. They were there for us when nobody else was, right? I think people want to like it. They want to repay that, right? By viewing this positively. I just don't think there's a way to do it honestly. I really don't. And if I can be proved wrong, I'm going to be ecstatic. But after last week's episode, which again, people disagree with me, I thought was a very heavy Trump derangement syndrome episode, right? With what's her name, his ex-lover being a Trump stand-in, and the rallies being Trump rallies, and the politics being the same as 2016. It seems like it seems like that. And so my thing is that probably Seth MacFarlane always wanted to do this, and Fox told him no. And that's why he's like saying, "Oh, I'm so glad not to be at Fox anymore. Now we can really be free." This season has been lackluster, right? I came in really wanting to love it. I forced myself to like the first episode, and it wasn't great. It was clever, but it wasn't great. But I liked what it was dealing with. I thought it was a good springboard. It was a bit quiet. It should have been a bit more fun. Dragged like hell. Every episode of the season has dragged like hell. The hour and 15-minute, hour and 5-minute runtime isn't its friend, right? Isn't friend. Seth MacFarlane's new girlfriend, not very good. And at the same time, we have the very, 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 I was going to say queer, but you're actually use the word properly. We have the very strange situation when we got Alex Kurtzman is putting out really good Star Trek in Star Trek Strange New World. It's really bizarre, right? It's really, really bizarre, upside down world. So I don't know. So look, go ahead, watch this episode. Go over my review. It's lengthy, right? And I really go into what the problem is with using popular TV shows to forward ideas, right? To forward like these, very, very, I would say, destructive ideas. We have a media that is absolutely blanketed with the idea that underage children should be able to make life-changing sexual surgical decisions. And I just think it's going to be very, very, very bad for future generations. Or this generation in 10 years, in 5 years. I don't know. I think I'm really genuinely worried about it. It's not coming from a position of hate, right? It really genuinely isn't. It's a real concern. But maybe I'm wrong, right? Maybe I'm wrong. Wouldn't that be lovely? Wouldn't that be lovely? Okay, so let me hand over. This is a long review, so let me hand over to me from last night. God only knows how long this video is going to go. But you know what? It's worth each and every second. Let me hand over to me. I don't think Seth MacFarlane's an evil person, right? I do not think Seth MacFarlane wants to be bad. I think Seth MacFarlane wants to be a force for good. I think most people want to be good. I think that's that I think that's a drive we have. All human beings have. A candle flame is an analogy for the soul, because a candle flame always is going first. It's non-corporeal, but it's always going up, right? Going up, and that's, I think, our basic human nature is wanting to do that. But we have a very physical nature where we want to go down, and we want people to go down on us lots and lots and lots. You know, I can't argue with that. But I think Stefan Around wants to be a force for good, right? I think he's being a force for genuine evil, right? Genuine evil. Okay, so you know, there's a lot of sexual confusion in the world, right? There's a lot of sexual confusion. For example, the ideal of what is beautiful, right? So let's look over here. So you know, young men nowadays, a 13-year-old boy is being told this is beautiful, right? This is beautiful. This is beautiful. And you know, listen, not unattractive women, don't get me wrong. I would like to shag all of them. Okay, maybe not actually, but anyway. But like, yeah, it's not the ideal of beauty that is hardwired into humans, right? So a 13-year-old boy is just saying this is beautiful. He's like, I'm not really turned on by that. Like, and then he's told, oh, that's gross. Oh, you sexist pig. Oh, you pig. You like that? I'm like, oh, that's gross. Oh no. Oh, that's so gross. No. This is normal, right? This you're a weirdo, but this is normal. So you know, it's frozen. Hang on. I mean, it's not the greatest tragedy. Okay, we're back. Yeah, it's little wonder there is sexual confusion. Well, now add into that, we have unlimited free pornography, right? And I say this on my video I'm putting out tomorrow. You know, it's not a popular position saying unlimited free pornography is a bad thing. You know, it's generally speaking quite liked, right? That's why we have it, right? It kind of happened in the 90s, right? And then everyone was like, let's just be quiet. No, quiet. And there's an episode of Friends like that where they get free porn playing on, and they're like, we can't turn the channel off, right? It's just the way it is. We can't, you know, it hasn't been good for society. I think growing up with that is very confusing for girls and boys, right? I mean, to have that be the sexual ID, listen. What pages is Rabbi looking at? The lingerie models, not the other ones. I'll tell you what. Actually, I found it here. I'll put it back on. So this one, I know on my video today, I pulled this up. I got a clue, right? This is funny. Well, over here. Where is it? Tonight's girlfriend. Why is it only tonight? I mean, honestly, you know, you don't want to split up with her after one night. I would stick around, right? I would stick around. You know, I really, tonight just seems a bit brief. It just does. Anyway, I digress. So this unlimited free porn, right? And like, you know, people are growing up with this and like thinking this is what sex is. And listen, porn is fantasy, right? Generally speaking, and it's from what I can tell, it's a fantasy that's spinning more and more out of control. Like, you know, like I don't know. When I was a young lad, there were three types of porn. There was girl porn. That was the best porn. There was girl boy porn, right? And there was girl boy porn, right? You don't want boy girl porn. That's a bit gay. You have a one penis limit, right? That's what now, you know, you get vacuum cleaner bukkake grandmothers.com. You know, it's like it's too much. There's too much specification. You should use your imagination. There's too much specification. Anyway, I digress. Oh, one second. I need to close that window. Doink. Good. So I just don't think it's good for kids, right? I really think it's bad for. Now, I'm not saying get rid of porn, but I think you need to put it behind a paywall, right? And I know it sucks, okay? I know it sucks, right? But I think that's what we need to do as a society, right? We did that. It was like up until the 90s. It'll be fine, and you don't have to go to a dirty bookstore anymore, okay? Count your blessings. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's good for society. I think kids are getting missed out. I think kids are getting confused. And I think there's a big push to make people believe they're sexually fluid or gender fluid when they're not, right? I really believe that that's what's going on. For several reasons, right? But if one is a student of history and you look back at the 1930s in Germany, right? They it was a popular opinion that Jews were not people. Now, why was that a popular opinion, right? Not because they're all insane racists. I guess sort of they were, but not because of that. It's because every authoritative source said that, right? Every news, every official news, every academia, the intelligentsia, the artists, they all said it, right? They were all like Churchill was an outlier. They didn't like Churchill. He was this uncouth, ruffian. Oh, he didn't go to Eton. Oh, I don't know what it was. They didn't like Churchill, right? They didn't like him. He was really, really way too uncouth. Yeah, and they were basically the CNN, MSNBC, Twitter, Facebook of today. They would all love, that little German chancellor, Mr. Adolf, right? They would have all loved him because he was so fashionable, right? I mean, look, there's a reason the king, right? The young, very, very fashionable king, what's his name? Liked Hitler, right? There was a reason he liked it. That was normal in that world, right? History is written by the victors, and we forget how popular it was. It's as popular as I think I think Nazism in the 30s was as popular as the trans movement is today. I'm not comparing them. There are similarities. There's similarities between everything, right? But it's very it's that strong, and that's why I think. Firstly, people who are adherents of that, right? It feels safe to be that way. Like it feels very scary not to be that way. Like you don't know what's going to happen, right? So they will only listen to the authoritative sources, right? Because if you go out of that, it's scary, right? It's scary. That's why but they can't go out of that because everything falls apart if you question anything, right? If you question anything in any way, it all crumbles. It all falls apart. And this is what we see from tonight's episode of the Orville, right? Everything absolutely falls apart upon any real examination. Now, the stupidity of this episode is they actually counter argue what they're trying to argue, which is probably what Ultimate Mirabalis was saying. Here we go. Let's pull it up. She cried. The real treasure is this episode looks freaking beautiful. It's it's the best looking episode of the Orville ever. It really genuinely is. But oh god, it's written with this such deep stupidity, right? Just such incredibly deep stupidity, and it's not like oh yeah, you know what? Before we get into it, let's talk a little bit more about how confusing it must be to be a kid, right? Here, and we're going to look at some video. Where is it? Hang on. Oh, it's taking forever to open up. Okay, it's really hanging. It's going to take a few minutes. I think it's one of those days. And we're going to be looking at what's it called again? Like footage from the recent price up. Oh, actually, I can look at. I got some pictures in there. Maybe that'll do it. Hang on a second. Download and now I'm frozen. Oh, is it working? No, not yet. I can put this over here. Doink. Yeah, okay. Let me pull this up. Oh, let me turning this off though. It's a shame. Here. 1 second. Share screen. Yeah, we keep hearing the expression family-friendly drag show. I don't think that exists. I don't think that's a real thing, right? So this is a pride parade that it's a Hello Kids in. I mean, they say there's lots of kids there, and there's guys. I mean, how what two people want to do, or however many people want to do in the privacy of their bedroom, fine, or a privacy of their own club, or whatever. This is public indecency, right? And this is. I mean, even if there is a box over his dick, I don't know. This is still public indecency. Yeah, it's a confusing time to be a child. See, we have here a drag act being highly sexualized, and the circle is around these two children, and the parents sit around and they like, what is wrong with these people? Like, what do they think children are? It's beyond me. It's genuinely beyond me. Yeah. Let me see if I can get those videos up. Let me see if I can get it up, baby. Oh, come on. Yeah, maybe if I search, I do MP4. That might make it like forced to wake up. Because it's really worth watching some of these pride parades. It's insane, right? It's insane what's going like these kids in drag shows performing for adults, taking money from adults as they disrobe, right? That's not okay. Right? That's not okay. I don't think this is what people want the world to be like. Yeah, I don't think this is how people do that. I mean, listen, the horrible, boring truth is this: that if you really want the best life possible, most fulfilling life, best sex possible, right? Then you remain a virgin till you get married. Have the only person you ever touch be your spouse, right? And honestly, the sex will be better. And get married so you get so you have children, right? I mean, again, I understand. So this is there are people who can't do this, right? I understand that. This is not a condemnation of anybody who this is an option for, right? And it doesn't work out. I'm very, very lucky that it's worked out for me, right? But then you have children and you struggle together, right? And you work together and you raise it and you make the people, right? You make the people. It's it's very hard, right? But there's no pleasure like that, right? There's no pleasure like that at all. So here we're going to look at a few. I'm not sure. There's some one I really. I was on the. There's one I'm really not going to show because it's too rude, right? I think we'll get in trouble. Let's look at this one over here, right? They say, what little kid next to me at the prize said, what the heck are they doing to that bear? This is not okay. Right? This is highly, highly sexualized and like, this is something that children should not be subjected to. All right? It will confuse children. This will confuse children. Right? I think it's designed to confuse children to a certain extent. This teacher says exactly that. Here, let's look at this.
Day looks at me and goes, "Are you a boy or a girl?" And I was like, no. What do you think? To which she said, "Oh, a girl." And I was like, "Oh, why do you think that?"
Yeah, I mean, listen, I will be surprised. Nah, she's a girl. I don't know what she presents as.
'Cause you have a girl's voice. To which I looked at her and went, "Okay, and what if I drop it an octave?" And she just went, "So you're a boy?"
Yeah, okay. She's active. This is a teacher actively confusing a child about gender because she has a very abnormal gender. or he, or however they present. I don't want to misname them, whatever.
And ran off.
And the point is, your voice isn't an octave lower because you're probably a girl. I don't know how you identify, but if you identify, if sex and gender are the same thing, which is it today or not? I can't tell. It's all about if sport's going on or not. Then your voice isn't an octave lower for a reason.
Jamie, confusing children since who knows fucking when.
So how's that a good thing? I ask that, how is that a good thing? Confusing children since who knows when, right? I don't understand who's being helped with this, right? I don't understand why this is okay. But I really think it's serious, right? I mean, like, this is a confusing time and a strange time to be changed. And so if a child says they're going to do something that's a little bit abnormal, yeah, well, look at this. Let's see. Is this a... There's one I really can't show. I'm going to stop it as soon as I start. So, but my computer keeps freezing. Oh, yeah, this is the one. This is too much. Right? That one was too much. And I can't believe... Okay, that was... Yeah, but it was a undressed person, basically, with a child doing a drag act. Okay, how's this okay? I like, what do you think a child is? What do you think sexuality is? How is any of this okay? And don't get me wrong, it's not me that's lumped this together with every other non-cis sexuality. You know, it's the queer alliance. If you there's they want everybody, like gay people, to be the same. I don't think they are. Right? I think gay people are as appalled to this as anybody else because they're human beings. And look at how is this okay? This is public indecency. Let's see what else we got. What's this one? So this is and they start holding out money for the kid. How is this okay? How is this not going to hurt children? I mean, really? I don't want to be go, oi, the children, right? I don't want to be that, but but oi, the children, right? Oh, much as money out here. We're about to get to the episode, fine. We're about to get to the episode, fine. So, as I said, it's very sadly, it's the best looking episode they've ever done. It looks beautiful. So they're on this planet, and there's this Indiana Jonesy type temple there, and yeah, blah 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 blah. Who cares? they're treading ground until they get to the story, which they're aching to do, right? And they go in. It's a bit Indiana Jonesy, and like Seth, you bought a woman or your girlfriend on the show on the first season, and then you booted it off, right? And did you break up with her at the time? It seemed like you did. Now you got a new girlfriend, and she's on the show, right? This looks a bit Me Too-y, right? It doesn't look good, and it also looks like you got a type, right? You like small blonde girls. Okay, I get it. We understand. So Isaac's like, oh, there's lots of traps. You've got to stand back. It's very Indiana Jonesy, and all these things fly. And they actually had humor, right? They had humor this week. It's so sad. They go in, they find this big treasure trove, but and okay, up on the ship. They're talking about all their stuff they found, and then on the simulator you have Topas, and he's doing the it's obviously a she, by the way. I mean, like, you can tell from the first time you blink, it's a girl, right? If they identify as their sex. If I I'm not assuming. This is just whatever. So big action sequence. Oh, look at all the money we got. They keep showing the money, right? And vessel destroyed, and it's a little girl. We get it. Everybody gets it. And he bangs a fist on it, and she gets cut. And then what's it? Grayson, Adrian Palacki comes in, looking very fit. I have to tell you, very, very fit. I can forgive a lot now, right? If we had a little bit of nippage, we might get away with more, but we don't. And that's just the way it went. So they talk, and he's like, oh, I was doing the simulation, and I have to say she, because it's so obviously a girl. I was doing the simulation, and because I want to join the program. This kid was born 2 seasons ago. Right now it's 14 for some reason. Okay, fine. I mean, Next Gen did that a little bit, but not this much. So anyway, and he's like, oh, it's great that you're becoming the, learning how to, you wants to come to the Union Academy or whatever. And I tell you what, you can shadow me around if you want, and it'll be, you can learn that way. You get good experience that way. Emma's here. How you doing, Em? Thank you for joining us. So the Orville, New Horizons. Yeah, the New Horizons is woke garbage, apparently. We should have known it was going to go woke by the second episode when it was boring, right? That's always a sign of wokeness, right? Being very boring. Lots of money. Way, I don't remember the thing. Tale of Two Topas. Oh God, I hate this episode. So Idiot White Woman has Topa running around, and she again, her character has cheated, and she has never had a stable relationship. She's never had children, but she knows everything. Oh boy, does she know everything. Again, she is the white suburban woman that still votes for Biden, right? Putting $6 a gallon gas in the car. Well, at least we don't have mean tweets. God, it's unbelievable. This is exactly what they will not capitulate to reality whatsoever. She knows everything. Oh, and this is my job. Oh yeah. So now we got to stop and denigrate religion, because what's life without denigrating a bit of religion? So this guy has the ridiculous religious custom of not wearing clothes on this day, and she's like, oh, okay. So he's like, can you basically says put pants on, and it's like, well, what if he can't do that? At least maybe say confine you to quarters or something like that for the day. But how do you know that isn't a violation of his religion? Because it doesn't matter, because it's not real, right? Because the only thing is real is what they think. And here you see what they think of this episode, and that's not real. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm a silly backward man who likes religion. So she's just being stunning and brave, the best as ever. And they go, hey, Toba, how you doing? And Norm Macdonald, how sad they saddle him in this episode. So yeah, she's talking about, being in the union or whatever. And he said, I've always felt there's something not right about me, something a little different. Have you ever felt that? And now this character was born a woman, and clearly not, because it looks like it was turned into a man, right? Without their knowledge or consent. So it's Seth MacFarlane's point of worldview. There's no difference between that and somebody who says, oh, I was born into the wrong body, right? There's no difference between somebody who was physically altered into a different gender and somebody who says they're in the... He thinks it's the same thing. But he doesn't really understand, to make this conceit work in fiction, he's got to put in a reason for them needing to change, right? Like, why Topa? What, why not, one of the doctor's kids, right? Because it doesn't make any fucking sense when you turn around and say, oh, this dick is, that was a mistake. But yeah, why you would say that nowadays? Because it's a bit confusing, right? How confusing? Let's just go back to the confusion for a second, right? if you were a 13-year-old boy, right, you're told all masculinity is bad, right? All masculinity is the worst ever, right? And toxic. It's toxic. And you're told this is beautiful. That's beautiful. What's wrong with you, pig? You don't like it. This is beautiful. Wool women are beautiful. Oh, they're so beautiful. Now, you know that unlimited free porn, right? Yeah, that's gross. Don't look at that. There. If you get turned on by that, that means there's something wrong with you. You're probably trans. If you're getting turned on, really? Well, that'll convince me, quite frankly, right? And if she didn't, she certainly would. Well, basically, whatever this woman tells me, I'm going to be like, okay, then. Yeah, right. It's. I hope she doesn't tell me anything bad because I have no choice, right? Weirdly, these ladies don't have the same hypnotic hold on me. I don't know how, especially her. Like she's like, what am I doing here? I am beautiful. Yeah. I'm sure some find you so, right? And I'm happy for your spouses to find you the most beautiful people in the world, right? But that's called being hot. Okay, that's the difference, right? It's a confusing time for a young man, right? It is a confusing time. So is there anything weird about me? Like, I don't know. Am I the wrong gender? Maybe. I don't know. So anyway, so in this this is again in Seth MacFarlane's mind. What a wonderful, stunning, and brave teacher goes through when a kid says, "Hey, I don't like ugly, disgusting women. I like hot, slender women. Maybe something wrong with me." So, have you ever tried sucking a dick? Have you? Well, give it a go. Give it a go. And that's kind of how here's a book called Genderqueer. It'll tell you all about it, right? But no, this is how they said, "Help me. Oh, I can't go against the parents' wishes. It's not right, but I want to help." And she goes, "Can you help?" And they're like, "Well, not really. We can't." Oh, but I'm sad. I'm a white woman. I'm a suburban college-educated white woman, and I don't have what I want. Ugh! Nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. It really is that. Meanwhile, Bortus, she goes to see Bortus and Clyden, and Clyden's like, what the? What are you missing in my life for? No, I'm a white woman, and I want to be good and help. I'm a white woman. That's how it works, you see. I see the border, and I saw AOC took a picture crying next to it. I heard it was fake, but it doesn't really matter. The sentiment was right. And I felt bad. So I want open borders. Now, I do understand there's been a huge spike in child pornography because there's been a massive wave of trafficking of children's sex slaves now. So a few hundred children have to be raped. But I'm a white woman that wants to feel good about myself. Right? That's what's going on. How long is it? How you doing? And he's like, "Get the hell out," right? And he's like, "We have to tell her that it's okay. That's good to be." And he's like, "Shut up! This is it." But of course, he's the bad one, right? "Oh, I have no reason." And he says it's all because I was born a female too, and they changed me. I didn't want anybody to know. It's going to be bad for them. Like, and he expresses genuine love, and this demonization of parents. It's disgusting. It's never their own kids, right? Socialists, they don't want kids. They want your kids. Yeah, they said they're coming for your kids. They weren't fucking joking. They weren't fucking joking. So meanwhile, it just goes ploddingly, slowly in the direction you know it's going to go because she's a white woman. As he's like, oh, I'm not allowed to go and shadow you anymore. I can do the captain. So the next day she's over here. Says, hi, yeah, you know, I'm banging Seth MacFarlane. Yeah, I know that. It seems to me that's the only reason you have this job, right? He wrote this character for you. And this is what the aliens used to look like from the what's it called again? From the planet they're surveying. Fine, she sees Isaac, goes up to Isaac, and says, oh yeah, he asked him about when he killed himself. Like, what was it like being dead? Tell me more about being dead, because I'm thinking killing myself. Because again, this is not what Seth MacFarlane wants to be saying, right? I don't know about Deborah Watley. I don't know what that means. Victoria from Doctor Who. Oh, Deborah Watley's awesome. Dick Sergeant York says, one day you will have the courage to speak your mind instead of holding back and sugarcoating everything. One day I will. Hopefully. I am hoping for that. Come out my shell. Anyway, so she's should we say he? I know it's a she. Oh, is it like me because she wants to kill herself? Again, this is so stupid. This is so freaking stupid. Like, the only way it makes sense is they change the sex at birth. He did again. If you want to do this analogy, Seth MacFarlane, you should have done one of Claire's kids. Like, oh, you know, I'm a girl, right? That's what he should have done. But no, you had to make it make sense because here's the reason you have to make it make sense because you're making a fiction. And when you make a fiction, it's got to resemble reality. And if reality doesn't resemble reality, you can't have it resemble that. Weird that is. So anyway, so he goes to talk to a white woman. I'm a white woman. Oh, she's going to kill herself. I'm worried about that. But he says, don't worry. I will tell everybody we're not sleeping with each other because I'm visiting you after hours. So now, okay, this is making my skin's crawling, right? This is a groomer 101. This is how they see themselves. This is literally how they see themselves, right? I hear you having a hard time. You should have some tumbuk cake or something. Now, somehow the file about her being transformed from a boy to a girl, or a girl to a boy, I should say, was called tumbuk, the name of this cake. He said, but there's lots of different tumbuk cakes. You should research them all. Yeah, okay. Why are you interfering? Oh, I remember, because you're a white woman who thinks you know better. Again. You know, what's the long-term effects of this gender reassignment surgery that you're strongly pushing on children? Well, I mean, honestly, what is the long-term effects of it? A double mastectomy is permanent, right? It's permanent. You know, the risk of infection and changing your genitalia is massive, and you're going to stay on medication the rest of your life. Plus, how many people are being coerced into this by being told that up is down and black is white by everything, right? I'll remind you, right? The entire area of Germany and Europe, you know, until they got scared, thought that Jews weren't people. That was all cool, right? They really did. Why? Because every authoritative source says it. So, boys, if you're being told that by every authoritative source that gender is fluid, and if you're not, they're weird, right? Every authoritative source is telling you that. You're going to try it out, and then you're going to try it out, and you go, yeah, okay, I'll give this a go. And you're going to have, and you might have, irreversible gender surgery, a chemical castration. That's what the medication does to you. You might well do that, you come to kill yourself because you can't do it, right? I would like to see. I would propose this, right? I think the volume of people genuinely trans are cool compared to the amount of people not trans. People who are trans are really 0.3% of the population, right? So if you suddenly have 20% or 15% of the population becoming trans, right? and 0.3% are really trans. So let's say you have more people who are experimental will come out are actually genuinely trans because it's a more open environment. So 0.3% goes to 1%, right? You still got the other 14% of people who have adopted being trans. Do you see this allegory for detransition? No, that's not what they meant. You're being too nice. How they changed the gender of a child who grew up. No, I think you're being way too nice, problem being, right? I think you're being too nice. I think they meant it in the simplistic, stupid way they did, right? So, hey, so let's say, like that 40%, let's say what? Half of them kill themselves. You got an epidemic, but it's okay. None of that matters. Nothing matters. Why? Because a white woman feels bad. Oh, I'm a white woman. So she gives them the information, right? They said, goes back and said, you went a chombak cake or whatever. So he goes and she looks up, what they call it again? That cake, whatever it is. Kimbok, right? And so he says, what other files are there, Kimbok? There's this one called Kimbok 33. And it's got a password protection. You can't go in. So she makes a cake. Or he makes a cake. And suddenly the password turns up. Oh! So he reads the password and finds everything out. So I don't think, this is a powerful detransitioning, especially coupled with last week's episode, which I think was pure Trump derangement syndrome. I think this is what happened. I think the reason this was a haven, reason this was a safe space for us, and it really was, and I love those first 2 seasons for it, right? It was one of the only ways you could go and get normative science fiction that wasn't lecturing you, is because Fox stopped them, right? Seth MacFarlane kept saying, oh, it feels so good being away from Fox. Oh. And now they're with Disney, right? Of course, Disney's going to be in the bag for this nonsense, right? I really I think this show has just destroyed itself. I really do. Rabbi, the industry of the 60s was impressive, right? What, this comic book industry or TV industry? We will agree, but was based on the established mentality of the time. So too TV shows these days are under the control of an oppressive woke dictator. We absolutely are. I didn't quite understand most of you said, but I think we are under the control of oppressive woke dictator. And again, such a shame because they got so much money. Although, I'm telling you, if you want to see something beautiful on your screen, Star Trek Strange New Worlds in 4K on a 60-inch screen, gorgeous. I mean, it is. I can't tell you how gorgeous it is. The glow of the impulse engines in the trailer, I like go weak every time I see it. And the grills on the back of the nasal. Oh, God, it's so good. It's so gorgeous, right? I love that. I absolutely love that. Explain the discussing it in Prolator. What gives you the right to have that on this site? What's wrong with it? What are you upset about? The Cyborg Rhino. You're more than welcome to go. Do you want to come on and talk about it? Let me finish this review. If you're still in the chat, okay, let me know how to get in contact with you. You can come on. We can talk about it. We'll give you the right. Oh, okay. No, let me just pull up the thumbnail for a second in case nobody has seen it yet. You should see the other thing I was showing. Here's a look of beauty for you. Yeah, you're gonna like this. Oh, so beautiful. Yeah. This one. Because I'm taking the piss. I'm taking the piss out of Amanda and Jodie. That's what's going on, right? I think you spelled nonce with 1 O, but you know. Groomer. How am I a groomer? You're a weirdo. Here we go. Doink. Let's get rid of you. Does that work? Oh, an error occurred. Yeah, do I have to go in to do it online? Could any of the mods boot him? Thank you very much. So anyway, let's go back. So Scott Grimes has got space mumps or something. It was funnier when Lister did it, quite frankly. You see, here's the thing. You know, they got me not well inclined to it, right? They got not feeling warm about it anymore. Like last week was a really rough week. And this is really much worse for me, because I really don't think they're talking about detransitioning. I think they're definitely talking about transitioning. So she's like, I think I did a bad thing, and told him about the cake. So he was going to play. That's the game where the spike comes through the hand or whatever. That's kind of a fun game. And he's like, have you seen Topa? I do not know. And so they go, and the kid confronts them and says, "What's going on?" And Clyde wants to lie, but Bota says, it says, no, you're going. And he says, we loved you before, we love you now, right? And Clyde is like, look, we fundamentally disagree with this, and you know my feelings, right? But again, imagine that we're talking about a kid who just says, you know what, I want to have life-changing surgery at the age of 13. Right, the age where you can't have sex legally because you're not considered competent to make that decision because you're too young. Believe me, they want to change that. They want to change that. They want to take us to Rome. These are really, really, really bizarre people. So Kleinen comes in and sees it, and this, yeah, you just see the hatred of the left, right? They absolutely hate anybody who doesn't agree with them, right? They really, and they just want to go in their face and have power over them. Look, see, I'm a white woman, and I got power over you, right? Because I disagree with you, and all I want is power over you. And he's like, "This is my child that you're mutilating. Yeah, you have no right." Again, no, I'm a white woman. I'm a white woman, and I want this because I want to feel good about myself because I'm a white woman. So don't get in my way because I'm a white woman and I hate you. Oh, I hate you. Again, Aidan Blacking, do you have any children, right? You just got married to Scott Grimes. How long did that last? What, a month? If that? How pathetic. You know, I would have thought, given that your personal life is such a complete failure, right? You wouldn't take on this role, but of course you're a white woman, right? And like, look at me, I have power over you. And she lunges and go on, I have complete power, and I can grind you into the ground. Oh, I'm so stunning. I'm so brave, she says to herself. Oh, Porter says, yes, you were right. You were stunning. You're brave. I know. It's hard being a white woman and doing the right thing because I'm a white woman who thinks I should give the fair. You have no, like, again. Yeah, honestly, bro, me, I really don't see it that way. I really, really don't see it that way. I just don't. So yeah, Porter says, "Oh, so sad. I understand, but it's okay. You have the compassion of a white woman. Oh, so compassionate, so white, so woman. Him cry. So what's the name? Who wants to be left alone? But of course, she'll talk to Commander Grayson, right? Oh, I'm your only friend. Don't listen to your parents. Chop your balls off, darling. You'll be fine." No, just take these pills. Will they melt your balls off? Yeah. Yes. Oh, that sounds good. Well, I hope they give you the pills to melt your balls off. Oh, thank you so much. So then she says, let me make this worse. Let's make this a lot worse. So she takes them to show a recreation of the tribunal where she was forcibly changed or not allowed, whatever. I don't really understand how this race has continuation if they only have one gender, but they actually have two. And she sees, oh, look, there's a woman. Oh, I want to be like that. Yes, you do. You can be a white woman too. Okay, not quite as white as me. But oh, look at her. You can be such a white woman. Nearly. Yeah, you can be a white woman's pet, right? You can be a little like purse puppy. So she now wants gender reassignment surgery, right? I want to be. You're already a woman. It's already obviously played by a little girl. So he's like, you are absolutely trying to kill my kid. I can do what I want. I'm a white woman. God, I mean, I really hate this show now. Fine. So Clyden says, I'm going to leave you if you do this. There's no way I'm staying. And he's like, well, and Claire's like, I think we need to talk to the captain, don't we? So he's trying to get everybody calmed down, I think. But yeah, he's basically like, I'm going to leave you if you do. There's no way we can do this. He's like, well, obviously you mean to do it. This is a 2-year-old baby. I mean, literally, they had the kid. They hatched a kid 2 years ago, right? Looks like an 8-year-old, right? But yeah, I don't want to tell you. It's yeah, obviously they can make these life-altering decisions, right? So then, we got to, you know what we got to do? We got to talk to Admiral Fat Black Woman, because like ever since Discovery now has Stacey Abrams, everybody in authority has to be a fat black woman. In fact, let's go over here for a second. This is going to be the next chief of staff right here in the military, right? Yeah, this is there's a bunch of military commanders right here, just a bunch of them, right? Because that's what you need nowadays to be a military commander. You need to be a fat black woman, and God bless you, you're all beautiful, darling. This is gross. Oh, so gross. Little boys, you should like this. Okay, that's what you should like, little boys. But that's the world we're living in. That's the message they're giving. So then she says, yeah, you can't do gender reassignment surgery because we need borders, right? We need whatever their planet is. He's like, no, you don't understand. I'm a fat black woman. I'm in charge, baby. So off flies but they're waiting for another ship to turn up. Well, listen, I do hear in the chat people are very much saying, no, this is the absolute opposite. I'm open to being wrong, right? I'm open to being wrong. I would like to be wrong, but I just don't think I am, right? Maybe I am. Like, I'm not being dogmatic. I am being dogmatic about it. I'm being less dogmatic than I normally am about it. I think that's fair, right? So anyway, he said, but it's not fair. The fat black woman told me, a white woman, no. Well, you do understand she's a fat black woman. That means she's more important than you. Yes, I do understand that. So borders, we can't do it here. We're not allowed to operate it. Says no. Now you must live a boy. And I still firmly believe that Steph McFarlane sees no difference between her being born a girl, being turned into a boy, and being born a boy, right? I really believe that's how he sees it. I'd love to hear his commentary on this, right? He seemed very smug, and he seemed like, is a very transy message. Anyway, so back on the planet, and it looks so freaking gorgeous. Can I just say again how freaking gorgeous this episode looks, right? It's really nice. And she's getting fixed. She got a cut. She's Seth MacFarlane's girlfriend. Better clean her up. Hi, I'm Seth MacFarlane's girlfriend. Yes, we know. That's literally the only reason. Hey, yeah, we know. That's the only reason. Yeah. How's Topa doing? Tell her we all pulling for her. Yes, because we all are. Because she's a really girl. And Claire's like, we got to find a way around this, right? And they're trying to think about it, and then Isaac comes on and says, I can just do it. I don't work for the union, right? I didn't put it. There wasn't any nudity. So I don't work for the union. I can totally do the surgery. He's like, but if anybody knows about it, we're not allowed to do it. Okay, and so the captain orders him not to do the surgery. So if he does it, he's doing it completely against orders, right? So they're all covered. He's saying, okay, we got a big show tonight. Bortus is going to do a live presentation. Apparently he's a singer, and he's never sung before in public. He's going to do it just for us, right? So everybody has to RSVP, and they fill up, and everyone's going. Yay, you're going to hear Bortus sing. And in comes Norm Macdonald. Oh no! But it should come to this. Please don't let this be your last performance. This piece of garbage. If I'm interpreting it correctly. And then Claire and the white woman, Grayson has gives each other a look through each other. Oh, I wonder what's going to happen. And then again, if you wanted to do this, you'd have that kid become the one to become trans, right? But again, here's why I think they're doing it the this way round, right? When you create fiction, it's got to have some kind of logic to it, otherwise it falls apart. And so if they chose this kid, it'll be completely illogical. But according to the left point of view, it's more like this kid, right? So Borges I know he sings a bunch of songs that are tied into this. I can't even remember what they are. I was just fuming by this point, right? So Isaac goes and gets Topa and says, "Okay, take your clothes off." He's like, "What the fuck? I'm scared." And then, in walks Clyden to stop him. And he's like, okay, he gets beaten. Like a parent, I would die first, right? Then let anybody do this. I would be put in prison. I would let myself be killed. There is nothing I would never stop, right? Because this, I believe, is damaging my kid, right? And I would do whatever I can. But no, they throw him out. So then he does the surgery, and then I can't remember. He does these show tunes. She wakes up, and she's a beautiful girl, and she's happy now for the first time ever. And then Admiral Blackwoman shows up and says, "You were bad and didn't listen to me, right? You don't understand. You're a white woman, I'm a fat black woman. That makes me more important than you, right?" And they chew him out, and then she leaves and says on the way out, "Well done." Basically, it's so stupid. I hate it so much. And they go, "Oh, that's over with." They should have both been fired and put in jail. Meanwhile, this is the home they broke, but it's not. It's just because he's bad and mean. It's not because he has a point. It's just she hasn't mutilated herself. It's just because he's a bad, evil person. And then they quote the religion back to him and said, "Oh, shouldn't you be more forgiving?" It's always people who don't understand religion wield religion. I hate that. So then we have a little thing with Claire and Isaac. He says, "Well, I wasn't being really altruistic. I thought everybody hates me, so I thought I'll do this and people will like me again." And he's just like very, very honest about it, which Claire likes. Says, "Would you like to go for dinner?" And then they go out, they're back together again. The ship takes over, and then she gets a call, said, "Topa, please come to the bridge." Goes to the bridge and said, "Would like you to hi, we're so proud of you." This is so much like somebody who's transitioned, not detransitioned. I'm sorry. I don't think you're reading this right. I think you want to like the show, and I don't think you're looking at it realistically for what it is. Right? I might be wrong. Honestly, if Seth MacFarlane comes out and says this is the thing about detransitioning, fine, right? But I just don't think it is. So come, we're so proud of you. Hi, I'm so proud of myself because I'm such a good human being. And she sits in the captain's chair and says, and he says, "I don't know, make it so," or whatever. Whoosh, and off they go. And now she's fulfilled. Oh, yeah. And I just think, I really fundamentally believe this is an allegory for transitioning, not detransitioning, right? Look, red number one, mate. If it's bothering you, you need to just hit the road, okay? All right, you worry about it. They don't give a shit, okay? They don't give a shit. Trust me. Yeah. Look, I just think this is a very, very firmly a thing about transitioning. Seth MacFarlane supports gay and lesbians quite rightly. So every sane person does, right? But when it comes to forcing transitioning on your kids, he's against that. This episode seems to be he's very much for that. Again, if anybody can provide me information, right? Or if you're watching this later, I'm going to clip this out and make a video of it. If anybody's watching this can provide me information that this is about detransitioning, I will 100% recant without even blinking, right? I like without even blinking. But I really think that it's not fair. Let's hear your commentary. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. Hopefully it's still there. Whoa. Fine. Let's hear what you have to say. This is all Autumn Mirabilis. The recent Orville show focused on the gender of Topa was brilliant. If the left took it at face value, they'll be outraged because it basically attacks gender bending and false puberty. I don't think so. I think they're doing it. I think they're saying the exact opposite. But tell you, it's good for having the conversation, isn't it? Right? It's good for having the conversation. Blocking sex change leftist nuts jobs that parents allow to happen on their kids. This seems to be all about a kid transitioning, having gender reassignment surgery, gender affirming care, not detransitioning. The studies show by doing so later in life, those who are made to early decision are unhappy and commit to try to commit suicide. Yeah, overwhelmingly, yeah. I reference a case in was it Hopely or something? This real sick guy. The media suppresses those stories because it doesn't conform to the woke message about trans kids. The reality is now being trans is a fad, is a trendy thing, but woke. It's also the insurance company's making a lot of money out of it. What woke parents go to? Yeah, listen. I mean, it's always been a tradition. There's the prophet. What was the idolatry? Molech that people would sacrifice their children to, right? There was an idolatry called Molech that people would have sacrificed their children to. This is that, I think. Parents go too far and make it an actual medical procedure. Insane. Still, that Orville episode, they confront Clyden and his ideological brainwashed mind. This is the way propaganda works, right? I really should have opened with this. The way propaganda works isn't saying you should think this, right? They have a point they want to make that stopping children transition is abhorrent and evil and hurts children. That's the point they want to make because that's the belief they have within society, right? That stopping children transition is abhorrent and causes suicide, right? So that's the point I think they wanted to make. And that's the point I think they were making in this. And they always want to say parents who oppose it are just evil, reactionary, right-wing religious fanatics, right? That's what which is how Clyden is portrayed. They don't give him a side at all. They just portray him as an evil, two-dimensional religious fanatic. This is why I think this is pro-transitioning, not detransitioning. So he gets her original body back. I don't think they thought of it that way, right? You know when they say trans women are women, right? So they just, for them, it's same as if he was born male, right? But again, if you make it into fiction, you've got to have it make some kind of sense. And if you follow left-wing orthodoxy, trans orthodoxy, it doesn't, right? For those who are born cis and want to be cis, Councilman Skim, or fine with being born the gender they were born as. So Disney owns Hulu. And what Disney is, they snuck it under the radar. I really fundamentally disagree with you. Fundamentally, I think the story they wanted to tell was a child wanting to transition and facing opposition from a parent, right? I think that's the story they want to tell. And then they transition and they what's the word? And they bloom, they sparkle, right? I think that's 100% the story that they wanted to give over, right? That's genuinely what I think. By the way, can I ask everybody to hit the like button? I was just quickly looking at the stats. But mate, listen, we've really got to hear. Seth MacFarlane won't be able to stop himself talking about this episode, right? They won't, because they need to preen themselves. And we'll find out. We will find out, right? I hope you're right. I just don't think so. I really don't. Once plans to ride and pass, they mask themselves through the guys that won't missing. The irony. I think it's too ironic. I don't think that's what's going on. I think what's going on is they're giving a very woke message. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.